always starts off full of big dreams, excitement. Everything was going well.
Boxing can take you to the hemisphere, or it can take you down to places, that you shouldn't be.
There's a lot of corruption in boxing. That big World of Sports scandal, if you will, came up. Professional Management Enterprises was involved in some things that weren't as clean as what they could have been. Let's just put it that way.
In 1976, Henry Grooms became associated with the notorious celebrity boxing promoter Don King. King was famous for managing some of the most important boxers of the era, but he became a central fixture in the smarmy underbelly of professional boxing. King's business strategy in the late 70s was to promote as many champions as possible. He began to sign contracts with small-time managers and their fighters in exchange for entry into his hotly anticipated new tournament, the United States Boxing Championships. King also had an under-the-table deal with Ring Magazine, the boxing Bible of the time.
One of the scandals was involving ratings. They'll boost the record of some of these guys so they'll get bouts. They weren't all legitimate, that's for sure.
If one of King's fighters didn't qualify for the championships, the magazine would allow inaccurate records to slide in order to keep the ratings of these fighters high. Managers associated with King also organized matches that guaranteed wins for their fighters, regardless of those fighters' skill level or safety.
They take a guy like me and they give me 10 bum fights, people that hadn't had a winning record in 4 or 5 years. So I get up to 10-0 record. So then they look at the top 10 and say, okay, well, hey, this guy's who's rated number 5, he hasn't had a fight in 6 months. He hasn't been training either. So let's give him 2 weeks notice, and we'll pay him a little extra money to fight this guy. I win the fight, and guess who gets rated, and guess who gets the title shot. They also have scouts, and they know who's hurt. They'll snatch him up, and the manager, instead of looking out for his fighter, say, hey, that's money for me. I get 50% of that stake. Did that happen with Henry Grooms? I don't know.
The person promoting him wanted to be known for doing it. Were they promoting the boxers or were they promoting themselves?
Once the Ring Magazine scandal broke, ABC canceled the United States Boxing Championships. While Don King never saw justice for his underhanded behavior, the scandal left stains on the smaller fighters and managers who became involved. When Henry Grooms was accused of fudging records, he explained that any inaccuracies in his fighters' ratings were due to secretarial errors and oversight.
You needed 10 wins to get rated in the top 10. I said, well, I've got 6. Well, you need 10. Well, no, just, come up with some dates and names. No, I'm not going to do that, Well, then the scandal breaks, and all of a sudden I get accused of lying.
Grooms' alleged involvement in the scandal damaged PME's reputation, by extension, the reputation of the KBA.
KBA House. Gosh darn. Floyd Mayweather, Richard Roselle, Greg Coverson, Bonzel Johnson, they're all living there. They'd have a fight. Instead of getting the $10,000 in their contract, oh, by the way, we're going to take this rent out, we're going to take this food out, and then all of a sudden they walk away with a check for $2,000 and say, wait a minute, I fought for $10,000. Well, I saw this. I didn't like it.
Fighters wanted out of the contracts. We just didn't really know what was going on as we seen guys coming and going and the kind of feuding that would go on in the gym.
I went on and had a professional boxing career in 1978. I had some managerial issues at that time, and it led to my retirement the following year.
Greg Coverson decided he wanted to do something else. Pete Sword had been a champion so long that when he lost a couple fights, he wanted to go into training and managing. Richard Fly Roselle had won and decided that he wanted to be a family man.
Things got bad for the fighters, and everybody wanted to leave, and everybody started leaving. I was the last one that left Henry Grooms. Eddie never got involved in that end of it as far as calling in results. Eddie Bridges, he cared a lot I think he probably did the right thing when he left.
Things just weren't going right, and so I was going to the gym to work out. It was locked and I had no way to get in, so this happened for about 6 weeks.
Summer comes, I go to the gym to go to work, and there's a sign on the door. It says, gym will be closed to amateurs for the summer. What? I'm the youth director. I mean, nobody talked to me about this. And so I went in, I said, what's going on? I said, well, we need to focus on the pros. Summertime, there's no school. That's when the kids get in trouble. So I quit.
The beginning of '87, when this whole thing began to shut down and close, Mr. Grooms ended up packing up and going to Florida. Left all the fighters with no place really to go.
One of the wealthiest people in Tampa came to the KBA. He wanted me to move to Tampa and bring everything I had from the KBA. Parfit said, Henry, it's a major opportunity. You need to try to go to the next level in a bigger place. So we got a moving van. Packed up the things of the KBA and I went to Tampa, Florida.
Boxing had left really when Grooms left. It's not like it was when we was coming up.
As the KBA would begin to decline, I think it was just a lack of interest by everyone.
Sometimes we lose focus. I have some misgivings because I don't want to come across as being a disgruntled former fighter. Henry did a lot for the kids, and the world is a better place because of him.
All of them had boxing at heart, and they all wanted to promote boxing, and young people. We had a lot of pretty good fighters come out of here.